Hello, good morning friends. Welcome back to your favorite channel Code One Digest. Today in this video we will learn what is GitHub repository, what is version control system. We will do a project setup in GitHub repository and check in some files into that repository. We will add the file, we will check in the file, we will play with some of the basic GitHub commands in this video. So stay tuned and watch this video till end. We are going to learn a lot of new things in this video. In this video, we will also see how can we link our local repository to global repository. We will see the architecture of GitHub repository and everything. So watch this video till end. Okay, friends? Friends, before we proceed in this video, I want you to subscribe my channel to grow Code One Digest family. Friends, I'm creating a lot of quality contents for you, but I'm not getting subscribers. I want you to like, share, and subscribe my channel so that I can grow Code One Digest family. I am creating a lot of technology videos, programming videos, coding concepts, videos on cloud technology, on container technology, but I'm not getting subscribers for it. What is the point if I'm creating a content but it's not reaching out to the right audience? I need your help in reaching out to all those people. Kindly subscribe my channel and share all my content with your friends and colleagues. Thank you. Okay friends, now I'll show you how can you create your repository and start using the version control system. So open github.com and log in with your credentials. So this is the home of your repository. If you don't have account, you can create a free account and start creating your repository. And this account, in one single account, you can have any number of repositories you want to create. So what I'll do is I'll create a new repository for you. Click on this new button. Now I will give a name of my repository, that is code one digest hyphen GitHub demo. You have to decide whether you want to make your repository public or private. If you make it private, then it will not be accessible by other user. It will not be searchable. It is your private work. You can keep it private. If it is public, you can share that repository with others. Other people can download your work, can download your code. It will be available on Google search. Then rest of the things you need not to worry. Let it be default values and just say create repository. It will create repository for me. And now I can see that repository is created and there are few instructions given. We will use these instructions. Okay, friends. Now you have already created a repository in GitHub. Now it's time to upload our files and project. So for that, what you have to do is you have to install a Git client in your local machine. Just search download Git client and it will show up the download page of the Git. To download that, install the Git client. It is easy, one single click installation. Once the installation is done, then we are ready to work with GitHub and start versioning your files. Okay, friends, if you have successfully installed the Git client, then I'll show you how can you start using it in your project for your work. Just go to your file system where you want to start working and the right click, you will see those Git options coming up after the installation. In this demo, we'll be using Git Bash. It is easy to use and with 3-4 commands, you will be able to work. Okay. So the first command that we are going to run, we are going to say that please initialize my local Git repository. I want to say that I am now starting on a new project and I want to create my local repository for it. So what is the command? Follow me here with the instructions. Git init. Git init is a command to initialize, to create your local repository so that you can start working. As soon as you fire git init, you will see one .git folder gets created at the same location. Okay, let me hit that. Yeah, initialize a empty Git repository at this location, it says. You can see that .git is created. All required files, metadata files are there and you don't have to worry about it. Now, next what we'll do is we go back to a repository and we'll initialize it. We'll follow these commands because we want to link our local repository to global repository. There should be some mechanism to say this local work will go to this global repository. So we are creating that link, that connection between your local repository and global repository. What we are saying that we are correct creating a connection between this local repository to this global repository, right? We are going to do that now. Yeah. So we have already fired git init command to create our local repository. Then so far we have not linked this local repository with the global repository. Now it's time to link our local repository with global repository so that we can push our changes to global repository. We'll do that. What is the command? Commands are given here. Okay. Git remote add origin, and that URL is a path of my repository. If you see, it has code one digest hyphen github hyphen demo.git. Enter that. So it is added now. Git status. That means for this local repository, now the global repository is added. I will add a sample file for you. Let's say you want to start working, you add a file, test file, and we'll add some text in it. So open, this is first text for GitHub demo. Okay, I'll save this. Now go back to the console and say fire the command git status. Git status is a command to see what all your files not saved in local repository. You have created a file, you have modified the file, but you have not saved in a local repository. So to see that work, which is not saved, which is unsafe, fire git status. Git status will tell you if there is any folder newly created or updated or any file that you have modified. You have modified the name of the file or you have modified the content of the file that will get listed here. We'll see that as well. So fire git status to know what all files are modified or updated. Say git status. Now it's saying this file is modified. You can choose to add all the files or selected files to local repository. I'll show you that how. Git add dot. This command git add dot is a command to add all the modified files to local repository. If I don't want to add all the files, then I can, let's say if I have 4 or 5 files which I have modified, but I just want to add 2 files, I can take their names and add only those files. I will say git add that file. Now, if you do a git status, now the color of that file will change. It will say new file being added. Remember, this is just added, but it's not yet committed. It says changes to be committed, no commit yet. So the commit is a two-step process in GitHub. First, you have to do git add. You can add individual files or you can add all the files. And once the files are added, now you can fire a commit command to finally commit it in your local repository. So now I'll do that. Let's say git commit -m. Okay. When I say git commit -m is for message that I want to leave a message for logging purpose so that I remember what changes are going in this file. Here in git commit command doesn't take individual file. git commit applies to whatever files you have already added in previous step. So git commit you can do, and minus m is the option to add a message. So you do git commit minus m, add your message, say enter. It will say one file change, one insertion. Now you do git status, it will not show nothing to commit. It will say you have already committed all your pending work. So this repository has nothing to commit, right? If you think your work is not ready, you can continue to work in your local. You keep adding file, you keep updating file, then again you do a git add, again you do a git commit, add a comment. So you keep adding your files and committing those files in your local repository till you are ready with that feature. You have to be sure that it is not going to break anything in global repository. Whatever changes you are sending should not impact the work of other users, because global repository will have a work from all the users. Okay, I'll show you how can we keep adding more and more files and update existing files, and then we will do a final push. Let me go back to my file system. Now, in this file, I'll open and update. I'll say this is first tag for the GitHub demo, and I am now updating it. And I have updated that file, and I also add a new file, test file 2.txt. This is newly added, and I'll add this is newly added file. This is second file in my repo. Now we'll go back to the console, GitHub, and what did I tell you? To see what all files have been added or modified, what is the command to check that? Git status. Fire git status to see if it is recognizing those file changes. So it is saying that the test file.txt is modified and test file 2.txt is untracked file. That means it is not yet added. We have to add that. So it is detecting those two changes. Now what we'll do is we want to commit both the changes. So before commit, we have to do add. So we have to say git add, and this time we'll use dot instead of one file. We have to do both the files. So we'll use dot. Dot means do all the files. Whatever files we have modified or added, dot will do that. I'll say git add dot. Now do a git status again. So it will say, okay, two files are there to commit, but one is modified and one is new file. So if you see, one is modified and one is new file. Now I can do git commit. What was the command? Minus m for message. I'll say added a new file and updated existing file. Yeah, added. Now do git status. It will not find anything. We'll do one more time. We'll add one additional file now. Git add test file 3. This is my third file to repo. Save it, come back to and do git status. It will show only one file. Now we will do add of it. Git add dot. So git status. Now it will say this file is ready to commit. We can say git commit. Completed my feature 1. Okay. So it is now saved in your local repository, and now we are sure that we want to push it to the global repository. Now we will push all our changes to global repository. So far, we don't have any code in our global repository. If we see here in this repository, there is nothing. It is an empty repository as of now. There is nothing. We don't have anything. Now we will push our changes from local to global repository. So the master is here is the name of branch. Whatever you see in a bracket in blue color, this is name of the branch. By default, GitHub work on a master branch. We will see what are the branch in next video, but for now understand master is the name of the branch because we are going to use this name in command next command. So what I'll do is I want to push my changes to the origin and into the master branch. Origin, you remember we added origin, the remote repository. So that is why I'm telling it's origin. That means it's a global repository. So I want to push my changes from my local repository to origin repository in master branch. I will say git push, push is a command, origin master. This git push origin master. It is saying push all my changes to the origin, and origin is my global repository. And in which branch? It will go to the master branch. Enter. Yeah. We'll go back to our global repository and see if any files have come here. Just refresh this page in your repository. Yeah. So what you see now is a repository and having all the file listed that you have added in that folder. Right? You can open that file and see. If you want to see the version of the file, you can also see that. Let's say this is our file. If you want to see history, you can see history here. So it is in the history, it is saying we have made two commits. Okay, this is the first commit, giving a first message in the file. And this is a second commit, added a new file and updated the existing file. And these are the version numbers. These you can copy for your commands when you want to pull any specific version of this file. With me, let's come back to the repository. So here we see all the files have been loaded. Whatever you do, you can start saving your work into GitHub repository. It's completely free, absolutely free, safe and secure. So friends, in this video we saw what is Git repository, what is the purpose of Git repository, what is version control system, how can we create our local repository, how to add a file, commit file to local repository, and how to upload that file to central repository. We also saw how we can connect our local repository with the global repository to push changes to the global repository. In coming videos, we will see the branching, how can we create different branch. We'll also see how can you sync your local repository from global repository. So stay tuned. If you like this video, give thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe my channel. Please subscribe my channel. If you like this video, click thumbs up and click on the bell icon for the latest video notifications. Stay tuned and thank you.